Am I in the frame?
Yes, sir. Let's go. You know we're doing it all these days. All right. Rise and grind, y'all. You already know what time it is. Mike, it's with Team Natural Fit. I'm here with my good friend, Garrett.
What's up?
We literally just killed ourselves in this CrossFit workout. Shout out Big Gratitude CrossFit down here in Henrico, Virginia. Awesome gym. I recommend anybody to check out their website to sign up for a drop-in. I think there's a free tour
There
they
is,
have
yeah. During the
online
week.
as well.
Yeah.
Yep, during the week, free tour. So shout out Big Gratitude. Man, trying to catch my breath, but basically, I wanted to get together with Garrett because he's really a great example of pushing yourself to be the best version of yourself. And really, I've been tracking you since high school. You know, we were friends in high school, so I'll give a quick background. I've known Garrett since high school. We hung out here and there. We actually hung out in college too a little bit.
Yep. JMU.
But yes, sir. And ever since college, I realized that you were constantly putting in work. I mean, you were pretty much working from day one out the gate, 24/7. I felt like, and really, you know, just showing everybody like, hey, I'm getting to it. And so, can you talk about a little bit, you know, your background, you know, from maybe high school to just a little quick background?
Yeah. I think, you knew me in high school. I don't think I was the stellar student. I would not describe myself as that. I don't even know if I would have described myself as driven.
Really? Oh, wow.
I don't think so. Not in high school.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I feel like I was like at a low point in terms of like career success trajectory.
I understood.
And then yeah, in college, it kind of something flipped a switch, and I don't know. I just knew I had high aspirations. I wanted to do something great, and I think everybody's definition is a little bit different. But
For sure.
I started experimenting with my own stuff, photography. I was working for a sticker company that was a startup, and I don't know. There was like a clicking point somewhere around junior year where I realized there's like a famous Steve Jobs quote. I'll butcher it. You could like put it in the show notes or something. But
Yeah, no, you're good.
it's like something around like, you know, the world is what it is until you realize you like poke the bubble, and then like something goes on the outside. Like you can push the boundaries. And then I think that was just like my turning point because everybody was like going to Deloitte or like going to work in
these big
like. I was kind of like on my different journey, and I was like, you know, I can hustle. I can go work at the racetrack. I can take some photos, and like,
That's real.
I'm having fun.
That's dope.
And yeah, you know, so from JMU, I graduated. Me and my now wife Lily did a road trip. We ended up in San Diego. It's a longer story, but the short version is we end up there, and we had no money, no friends, no jobs, nothing.
Wow.
Grinded out for about a year, like Craigslist construction work. I was like turning turkey legs at fairs. Literally anything to make money.
Wow.
Lily was working 3 jobs, and eventually I kind of paused my passion of photography and got into software engineering, and then that was just like the rocket from there. And we can go deeper into that, but that's my background.
That's your background. No, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. So I got some questions here I want to ask you. And how do you stay motivated to keep growing and striving for more?
Yeah. It's funny. I had coffee with a kid yesterday.
Good.
A VC kid that had reached out that wanted some mentorship, and
Nice.
he had the same question.
Wow.
I think motivation is like, it's intrinsic, and I think everybody's end outcome is different. Mine used to be financial. It's now freedom based. It's now, you know, family based, and I think everybody's changes over time. But I think the biggest driver to motivation or keeping motivation is just reflection. Like even me and Lily as a couple now, every Sunday we sit down for an hour. We reflect on the week we just had, reflect on our goals, and we plan for the week forward.
I love that.
And
you do that as a couple too.
We do that as a couple, yeah. I used to do it by myself. This year was the first year that we said, all right, let's sit down, let's do this. We have an agenda. I can send you the template. Like we have an agenda.
Actually, I mean it.
Yeah, we have like an agenda. It's like a little Notion spreadsheet. Yeah. Go through each of the things. Start with like last week's action item. It's literally run like a meeting.
No, honestly, it's so crazy. I know that's why I'm meeting quick because I feel like we think similar. I do that alone now, and I have to incorporate it with my relationship as well. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah. But I think that really drives some motivation. You know, I think yeah, early in my career is very financial driven, and now it's kind of like shifted.
Right.
And I think that's normal trajectory for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's kind of like, like you say, you started off, you just know you need to make money, right?
Yeah,
you know you need to survive.
Yeah, and you set like some arbitrary things, like I want to make 50 grand or 100 grand or 500 grand, whatever it is.
Right. And I think we're like a lot of people who are successful. I think when you set those monetary goals, and then when you reach them, you're like, oh, that didn't feel like
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
And that's why you're saying reflection, because there's nothing better than reevaluating yourself and saying, okay, am I really like?
Yeah. Was that really what I wanted?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I 1,000,000% agree. I hit those financial goals, and I was just like, that's cool. And then I said some other ones. I was like, that's cool.
Right.
And I think, don't get me wrong. Like, there's some financial point you have to get to have like a baseline.
For sure.
I'm not struggling.
Right.
But like past that, I think it's like marginal gains in terms of happiness.
Oh, totally agree. And that's what I think what they mean by money can't make you happy.
Oh yeah.
But it can.
Money
change your life for sure.
There's a famous saying: "Money solves your money problems."
There you go. Yeah.
So, and that's
the
exactly
problem
what it is. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned from your travels? You've been to San Diego. Mm-hmm. You've been out of the country as well, quite a bit. So.
Yeah. I think there's a couple things. There's one, embracing the uncomfortability. Like I can even reflect on a story from recently. We were in Thailand for a month. We were in Southeast Asia for a month.
Wow.
And we stayed on this puppy farm, and it was an Airbnb, and obviously they don't speak English, so and they don't have service, and so we started going somewhere, and it was like 2 hours away from where we are. We lost service. We couldn't find anything. We got lost for like an hour. Then we just tried using Google Translate with some randoms we found on the street, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we know that family." They called this guy. They showed up on some motorbikes. We had to ride up on a mountain on the back of motorbikes, and in that whole process, we were like, "Dude, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, are we about to just get slaughtered out here?" Like,
you're excited,
and it was probably a funny sight too, because I'm a big guy, and like this little like 120-pound dude on a moped bike is like riding up this muddy mountain. And then we woke up, and it was the most beautiful thing in the world. It was gorgeous.
Really?
I'll show you pictures after this. It was stunning. And, I think that embracing that uncertainty, embracing that uncomfortability, I feel like is where we thrive, and where a lot of people should thrive.
Definitely, because it's an unknown, and that's where who you are is really gonna come out.
100%. We even we were talking to some friends about this recently. They said that we travel stressful, but we don't plan anything.
I'm the same way.
We don't book a hotel.
Yeah, just get there.
Yeah, we get there, and then we talk to some locals, and maybe we have like the first night booked, but like from there it's like I don't know. Like even when we got to Southeast Asia and we were in Thailand, we were like like 2 weeks in, we were like, let's go to Vietnam, and then like the last week we were like, we should go swing by Cambodia.
That's so awesome, man.
And I think that stuff's like, I don't know, that's where the fun is.
Totally, man. You're seeing different cultures, different, just everything's different. And
totally,
you're going from America where you're the majority, and now you're literally the minority. You're like the outsider, so to speak.
Yep.
So that's really awesome, man. Daily habits or routines have contributed most to your success.
The goofy real answer is caffeine.
Okay, that's real.
I feel like it's a cheap cop-out answer. I think, honestly, one of the things that's been really good, and it's always been good, is just getting up in the morning and getting the workout in.
That's real.
I think, like, pre-work, especially going into stressful days, like, there's nothing better than just, like, putting the phone away, zoning out, sweating, getting after you feel accomplished, and then I'll even time. Like a lot of the time of the week, since most of my employees are European. I'll come here for like a 6 or 7 a.m. workout, and then Lily's putting away my weights because I'm right into a call.
Oh shoot!
I'm putting in the AirPods and I'm right into a call, and but even getting that, like, even if that's like a little annoying, like a little transition, but like even getting that workout in, like, it's so good. And I think that's helped a lot.
It's big, I think, because it kind of goes back to a little bit of reflection, but it's about putting in that work on yourself first.
Yeah.
Before you spend your whole day putting your brain and energy to something else, right? You know what I mean? Like, I think for me, when I don't work out, I'm kind of like upset all day.
For sure.
Because I'm like,
I feel it mentally.
Me too. I'm like, bro, I didn't get to do what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And even if it's just 30 minutes, for me, you know, being in a leadership role, my whole day, I know you're similar, I'm focused on everything else and everybody else. And I have to. You know what I mean? And so I think anybody just trying to, I don't know, set themselves up for success, it's a big key of
100%.
starting a day well with a workout.
100%.
What about, you know, what do you think of waking up and just planning your day ahead of time? I know you talked about planning the week, but do you kind of think about your day, you know, in advance?
I do, yeah. I'm still a little old school. I'll write it down on a piece of paper. Like I have a little fairway notepad. And when I wake up, I try to just like quickly think through like what are the things that would make today great. I used to do like I'm sure you played around with the 5-minute journal, or maybe you've heard about it.
I journal a lot, so I haven't heard about it. What's that?
There's the 5-minute journal is it's a book. I'll get it for you.
Okay.
It's a fun one, but basically you do a 5-minute journal in the morning and right before you go to bed. And one of the questions in it is like, what 3 things would make today a great day? And
that's sweet.
And
I like that.
It's like a philosophy of thinking with the end in mind. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's helpful too, because you you vision what the day is going to look like, and then maybe like it's blown up.
Right.
We have an outage at work or something, and then it's just like, okay, well, I got nothing done that I wanted to, but sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, you're setting goals for yourself. That's the big thing, and I think a lot of maybe people's struggles come from not setting expectations for a week or even for a day. Like if you wake up and you're just like, let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Shit's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But if you wake up and you're like you said, what's gonna make my day great? I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna whatever the 3 or couple things may be. But it's a focus.
For sure. For sure.
So it comes down to that for sure. Yeah. You define success. And has that definition changed over the years? I think you actually kind of answered that.
I did, yeah. But I mean, just to reiterate, I think you know, early on in my career. So when I first started, it was freedom based. This was like, you know, when I saw my friends going to work for larger orgs, and then like I was doing my own thing with photography and whatnot. I realized that I had a lot more freedom than them. They were obviously making way more money than I was, but like. You know, we got a big snow day, or it was a beautiful day out. Like I could go ride mountain bikes in the mountain, or I could go to Mass Nut, and like I don't need to tell anybody. I'm just like,
just going. Yeah.
I'm going. It's for me. From there, I think then it was monetarily based for probably about 5 years. Then I hit all those goals, and similar to what we were talking about earlier, it was just like, you know, been there, done that. Got a sticker. Like I was up, you know, I need something else. And then nowadays I think it's back to being freedom based, back to being more family focused. And for what it's worth, I think most of my peers have that similar arc.
For sure. No, I think I agree with you on that. How do you balance ambition with gratitude and contentment?
It's a good one.
That's a big gratitude.
That's a good one. You know, I think ambition's a little sneaky. Sometimes we set things that aren't realistic.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's still really important to be grateful for how much you progress. You know, like in organizational planning, like a lot of the times we set these goals that are like 80% attainable, 85% attainable, whatever. Yeah. So you can set a stretch goal, and like if you don't hit it, it's okay. But if you do, like epic.
Right.
And I think a lot of life's like that too. Like set an ambitious goal, have high ambitions, but also like you don't need to kill yourself, or like, you know, you don't have to be down on yourself, like beating yourself up because you did this or that or didn't hit this.
Right.
And I think that's why, like, even I don't know if daily reflect. I mean, I know a lot of people that do daily reflections, but even weekly reflections is really important, because you can look at like, this is where I was, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I didn't go as fast as I wanted, but like I made progress.
Right.
And
so being grateful for like where you're at in your journey. You know what I mean? It's I think I struggle with this a little bit as far as being so ambitious and then I'll beat myself up sometimes over a situation instead of being like, like,
Yeah.
actually, a lot of shit got done, you know what I mean?
Totally.
But on the other side of it too, I think you can be overly ambitious, and I've done this before too. You go so hard at something, and then like you just hit a brick wall,
Yep.
and then you're kind of like I'm not. I can't say I'm content, but I'm in a content phase.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like, oh, okay, maybe, but
Yeah,
So
it's tough, and also like burnout is real too.
oh,
like,
so real, bro.
Like I've been burnt out. Lily's been burnt out.
What are some signs for you that you notice like you're getting burnt out?
I actually, for me, it was interesting. I'll flip the question a little bit.
Okay.
I started learning what caused burnout. And for burnout for me is like I just don't want to do anything.
Exactly.
Like I think if there's like one description of it, it's like
I'm done. Yeah.
don't want to do it. It's like learned helplessness in psychology. But what I found is the biggest contributor, at least for me, for burnout is stagnated progress. And so whether that's in programming, career, whatever, like, but if you hit like the stagnation, for me, and you're still working, and something's not happening, something's not moving, something's not progressing, that's when I start getting burnt out because I spend like weeks or months or whatever, and you're like, oh my god,
nothing's going.
Like nothing's changed, it's not working, this isn't doing that. The code, even like on a micro level, like the code's not executing the way that you want, and like you're just beating yourself up. And I think that's been my biggest realization for me, at least.
Just noticing what's caused it, and you realize that, and everybody's gonna have different stressors or different things that are gonna trigger that. So that's really good. I think being mindful of a burnout
for sure
is big too, because we're in a world where some people go to jobs and like some let's say employers are good at knowing the people need a break, and then some are like, yo, just work. So it comes down to the person individually saying, hey, I'm burnt out, you need to recognize and
this is what I think two things on that. Like even what I tell my employees is, because I'm in a startup, it's high paced, there's no way around it.
That's true,
but I tell them like, look, you can pedal down, but you gotta know when to let up. Like
that's real.
You can't just go 100 miles an hour 24/7 every day.
Yeah, it's not always a straightaway. There's
exactly. I love that. Yeah, there's some turns around, and so you got to know when to pull up. And I think that's really really important.
Really key. Yeah, no, that's big, man. I've gotten burnt out. I've burned myself out multiple times over the past 10 years, just in striving. So I've learned my stressors too. And
it might sound counterintuitive, but I do really. I told this person I was getting lunch with yesterday the same thing. Like I think in your 20s, you should try to find where that barrier is.
Totally agree.
Because in your 20s, everything's a lot more forgivable. Your mind, your body, everything.
The energy's there.
30s a little bit different, but like 20s, learn where that barrier is. Know when you can hit and avoid it, and then mentally set that for the rest of your career. In theory, hopefully you're fine.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, we're like it's like a car. It's like you literally can fine tune yourself to be a high performance car, or wherever you want to be at. Like you're in control of that. So I agree with that. Being in your 20s, going pretty much balls to the wall, 100%. To figure out where that wall is at.
Exactly.
No, that's good shit. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
It's a good one. The honest answer is buy Bitcoin, but
no, that's real though. You know what's crazy? Back in fucking Harrisonburg, I'm living with my boy Nolan actually, and Mike and them. My boy Mike is like, the Silk Road was just chaos. So he's like, yo, you gotta get Bitcoin, bro. I bought $300 in Bitcoin.
Oh my.
Used 200 on the Silk Road, and we left 100 in this little. I don't even know what it was. And so years later, I hit my boy up. I'm like, yo, whatever happened to that money we left in Bitcoin? He's like, man, that shit was big. Like, used it on something. But I think that was like 2013. $100. That'd be a lot of money right now.
A lot of money.
But other than Bitcoin, what would you kind of advise you?
I think we just touched on it, but I think 20s are for grinding. I think you should pedal down as hard as you can.
Oh, that's what you would tell yourself. Okay.
Yeah, and like keep that down. I don't regret that I will say, like, I neglected my health for a long time, and now I pay the repercussions, which, you gotta, everything's give and take.
Yeah.
And,
but you're still young.
Yeah,
So.
still young, still fine, working out 6-7 times a week, but, I think I would have focused more on health.
Yeah.
Because it's not all just career driven.
For sure. If you're not healthy, you can't have a career.
Exactly.
I think that's where health is wealth came from.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's big, honestly. For me, coming out of, I think I would advise myself not to beat myself up so much. I think from 18 to 21, I was telling myself like I'm a piece of shit. And anytime you tell yourself things like that, you're gonna be a shitty life.
It's like an affirmation.
It's
a negative affirmation.
It totally is, yeah. So like I thought about it, I'm like, dang, I was beating myself like as soon as I woke up. I'm like, but if I would have woke up like, oh, I can get it, I can make it, I can do this, I can do that. A lot of things would have been different, I'm sure. So
yeah, there's a big reframing thing that used to help me. It's not as helpful anymore, but. Yeah. Instead of saying I have to do something, it's I have the opportunity to do something.
Oh, I love that.
It changes your mind a little bit because it's like, I have to go or I have to do this, and then if you just reframe it, it's like I have the opportunity to do this, and you're like, somebody else would love to do this. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
So
no, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Man, this has been really dope, and honestly, I can't wait to. I want to do a lot of things with you, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm like. Big, actually, I gotta say this. So, I don't know if you remember, back in Harrisonburg, I reached out to you, I was telling you how I started Team Natural Fit.
Yes.
Gotta share some, and I'm like, bro, what should I do, just to, cement it, because I don't have it home, and I got an idea.
Yeah.
And you were like, bro, make a Gmail. That way nobody else can take that Gmail. Literally, so I just want to shake your hand for that, because a lot of people ask me, they're like, how did you get Team Natural Fit at Gmail? And I started this. The day I thought about it, pretty much thought about it.
Yeah.
I reached out to you, you told me that. I fucking got a Google account.
I remember that. I told you said it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, you said Facebook?
I'm still an admin on your Facebook
Yo,
page.
yo! And you will stay an admin. Yo, I didn't know if you remember that. So,
of course I do.
Yo, let's go, because
of course I do.
Team Natural Fit is coming, and we're going to be doing some awesome things. And I want you to be a part of it, really. And
I love it. I think you've been a stellar example of it. I think you're gonna have a fun time.
Word. Hell yeah, appreciate it. So before we get out of here, what's next for you? What are you currently working toward, and then what's next for you?
Yeah, I think. So right now it's very deep on career and family.
Yeah.
And so in the career aspect. I now manage more people than I've ever managed in my career. I now have multiple teams. It's very technical, and so it's getting more comfortable in the deepest corner of technical realm.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then I think on the family front, it's getting close for me and Lily to have children, and it's starting to become that time, and making sure we have everything in a row. I think the other thing too is. Lily quit her job back in September, October or so.
Nice.
And so I've been helping her with all these side hustles and side quests and seeing what sticks, what doesn't. And,
and that's fun too.
It's been super fun. I get to scratch my itch of entrepreneurial while I still have, so my job, and it's always a joy to just support her.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's kind of what I'm working on, and I'll continue working on over the year.
For sure. So what would you say your goals are now? You've accomplished a lot over the years.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to set, a 20-year goal, what does that look like for you?
I think it's having some sort of freedom, being able to support the family.
With that freedom. Yeah, that's big.
Yep. And I think we have some home goals. We want to make sure the houses we're fine for when we have a child. Some stuff around that. Yeah. I don't think we're in our forever home, so trying to figure out what that looks like longer term. But in the short term, at least, we have clear vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
freedom and being able to support your dreams, your goals, and family. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
family
exactly.
first.
Yeah, 100%.
So, man, brother, I appreciate you, man. It's always good.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming down.
Yes, sir,
Hopefully it was a
man.
good workout.